After the death of his wife and children, Mitawintaka wandered to a village named Kambira and arrived on a day that his ship was about to set sail. He was hired as a crew member and immediately left with the ship. However, after 7 days, the boat suddenly stopped moving for no apparent reason. Nothing seemed wrong. The sailors were surprised. In all their journeys, nothing like this had ever happened before. They considered it and decided to cast lots in order to find out who was the cause. They cast lots 7 times to be certain, and each time, it fell on Mitawintaka. They gave him a raft of bamboo and cast him overboard. Mitawintaka floated on the waves. Since he upheld the precepts in the time of the Buddha Kassapa, he found a strange formation poking out of the water. Once he got closer, he could see it led deep underwater, and he became curious. He was drawn in by the beauty he saw and decided to swim down to explore. What he saw surprised him. He found a palace of crystal deep underwater. He was greeted by 4 angels who were the daughters of the gods. He dwelt with them in pleasure for 7 days. However, palace ghosts can only enjoy happiness for 7 days, after which they have to go receive their punishments. Only then are they allowed to return to the palace. The angels told Mitawintaka to wait there, and after a few days they would be back. However, Mitawintaka was not one to listen to the instructions or advice of others, and after the angels departed, he swam back to the surface and left. Then, he came upon another marvelous stone formation. He decided to explore and dove deeply. There, he found a palace made entirely from silver. There, he was greeted by 8 angels who were the daughters of the gods. He spent 7 days with them. On the 7th day, they asked him to wait for them while they served their penance. However, Mitawintaka, true to form, left as soon as they were gone. Then, he came upon another strange formation. There, he saw an even larger palace made entirely from jewels. It was truly magnificent. There, he was greeted by 16 angels who were the daughters of the gods. He spent 7 days with them. Once again, he was asked to wait. And once again, Mita Wintaka decided to leave. And then he came upon another strange sight. There, he saw an even larger palace made entirely from gold. Nothing that he had ever seen in his life could compare. There, he was greeted by 32 angels who were the daughters of the gods. He spent 7 days with them. And after 7 days, he was asked to wait. True to form, he did not. He continued until he got to shore. Nearby, there was an ogress who had taken the form of a goat. Mita Wintaka, seeing the goat, thought he was in for a good meal. Not knowing that she was a powerful ogress, Mita Wintaka grabbed one of her hind legs. Right away, with the power of an ogress, she kicked him. Mita Wintaka landed in a distant moat near Benares, which happened to be where the king kept his goats. Seeing all the goats, Mita Wintaka figured they all must be powerful like the last goat he encountered. He wanted to be kicked back to where he was before. Little did he know that many thieves had recently tried to steal the king's goats, and the goat herds were on alert. Once he grabbed the first goat and it bleated, the goat herds came chasing him, thinking that he was the thief that they had been looking for. They caught him, beat him, and hauled him away to the king. It just so happened that at that time, the Porisat was with 500 Brahmins and was in the area. The Porisat heard the commotion and asked, "My good men, why do you have this pitiful man, an old pupil of mine, strung up and seized?" "My lord, your pupil was caught red-handed, trying to steal one of the king's goats." "My good men, would you be content if you gave him to me to be my slave? This can be his punishment." The goat herds, out of respect for the Porisat, agreed. The Porisat then asked Mita Wintaka how all this came to be. Mita Wintaka relayed the whole story. The Porisat then said, "Those who are stubborn and do not listen to others, such as friends who give kind advice, shall come to harm, like Mita Wintaka." In that life, the Porisat and Mita Wintaka eventually passed away and followed the Gama they had created. At the end of the story of the past, the Buddha concluded the Jataka by saying, "The elder Losaka was the Mita Wintaka of those days, and I was the teacher." What did you learn from this story? Let us know in the comments. We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads. And consider making a donation to support our Buddhist animation project.